Hi, I'm Donna, and today I want to speak about being authentic. When I think about being authentic, certain words come to mind like being real, being grounded, being earthy, having a light inside of you that shines out, and having people attracted to you, like magnetically pulled towards you. And it's something that we're really told to uphold and try to achieve, right? But if this is all there is to being authentic, why is it so difficult? I think that there's actually a bigger, more complicated picture to being authentic. And that's what I want to speak about in this first vlog. And hopefully leave you with a more realistic, holistic view of what it means to be authentic. So when I think of an image of the most ideal, perfect, authentic person, I kind of think of a woman with like maybe long, flowy red hair, sitting on a yoga mat, being very zen and very peaceful with like the sun shining out of her ass. And she's like really, really authentic and real, right? But now what if this woman has had a really frustrating day and she's pissed off and she's irritable? It doesn't really gel with my image of being authentic. Although if she's feeling those pissed off and irritable feelings, surely she's still being authentic and she's being her real self. But that's not what we usually see when we think of someone being authentic. Our definition of being authentic needs to grow so that it can include experiencing the more difficult feelings, the other sides of ourselves. Yes, we have peaceful, zen, harmonious, forgiving sides of ourselves, but we're complex people with darker, maybe more angry or sad parts of ourselves that we also need to embrace when we are experiencing being authentic. And I don't think that we can just pick and choose the feelings that we want to present to people. You know, I think to be authentic, you have to be willing to get in touch with the more difficult feelings because they are there. And if you're not getting in touch with them, then you are just suppressing them. And that is not being authentic. I think that being authentic actually means that we'll often end up making other people feel uncomfortable, because people don't really want to be around someone who is frustrated or angry or really sad. And I think that there's a conflict that this drives inside of us, because on one hand, people are telling us, be authentic, be yourself, everyone will love that. And on the other hand, people more subtly maybe say, don't make other people feel uncomfortable. Making people feel uncomfortable is wrong. But often being authentic and being ourselves involves making other people feel uncomfortable. So it's this conflict, there's a clash. Okay, and so by expanding our definition of what it means to be authentic, feeling all of those feelings, I think that we can start to resolve that conflict. I have always been a bit of a people pleaser, and it's something that I have always struggled with. And often when we think of a people pleaser, we think of, oh, that's fake, that's bad. And when we think of someone who's authentic, we think of, oh, that's really good, you're grounded. But I think society subtly enforces the people pleasing side of us because people pleasers are really helpful. People pleasers please people. And they don't make you feel uncomfortable most of the time. And they are accommodating and usually really, really nice to be around. And when I've been getting more in touch with a more authentic part of myself, I've really struggled with this experience, because I think that a lot of the time I'm not as nice to be around. I am no longer as pleasing towards other people because I'm showing a more vulnerable side of me. I'm showing a side that is less accommodating, often less helpful. And that's not always a nice experience for the people around me. And it's certainly not as nice of an experience for myself, because no one wants to feel angry. No one wants to feel sad. Or, we don't want to be a drag. It's a very important point to consider, the almost more darker side of being authentic. And to really understand that being authentic has a cost. I think that the cost of being authentic means that if you are a people pleaser such as myself, you will have established a lot of relationships where people expect you to react in a certain way because you've always reacted like that. You've always been accommodating and really helpful. And now suddenly it's like, oh, what? You don't want to help me out with that? Like, of course people are going to be, and understandably, upset about this or uncomfortable around this. And I think that it involves a real big change, a pervasive change in your life and in the relationships in your life. And not all change is immediately good. And what this sometimes means is that people will maybe even leave you, maybe not respond well to this more authentic self. And what's so hurtful about this is that people aren't just responding negatively to your more people-pleasing self. They're responding negatively to your real authentic self, to the real you. And that's really hurtful. And that is why it is so important to begin your journey of finding a more authentic self and getting in touch with your authenticity by accepting yourself and by thinking well of yourself so that you don't have to be turning to other people to be giving you that praise or affirmation. It'll come from yourself already. So I think this has been quite a grim view on being authentic, but stay around for the next vlog because I'll be discussing why I think it's still really, really important to show people your authentic self.